Hey everyone. So in this play, Intimate Apparel, I noticed a couple things. I thought it was interesting how George would initiate the conversations via letter to Esther, even though neither of them had met in person, and all of a sudden it escalated to marriage. I definitely thought that was quite interesting. And then from a personal standpoint, I thought the fact that George was initially working on the Panama Canal, I found that extremely interesting. I was very enthralled in the Panama Canal in 10th grade, and I studied it a lot. And to see some quotes from him, even though they were kind of fictional, to see him saying that it doesn't ever seem like this is going to get done, I would just really appreciated seeing it from a worker's standpoint and then putting the dedication of getting some legitimate quotes in there. So two values I saw in this play. I thought the value of trust and the value of faith were pretty strong in this play. Trust with Esther, with Mr. Banks, Mr. Marks. Mr. Marks, he presented himself as a very trustworthy man to his wife, initially not letting Esther touch him because of his faith. And another trust would be when Esther trusts that George is going to use her savings wisely, even though he doesn't. But I know I just quickly mentioned faith. Mr. Mark's faith, his Judaism faith, wouldn't allow Esther to touch him, even though while he was married. So, anyways, trust and faith. Unfortunately, I forgot my book at the office today, so I can't show what I highlighted or circled. So I remember them talking about a smoking jacket a lot, and having looked it up, I kind of feel like an idiot for having to look it up because it's that jacket that Hugh Hefner would have worn kind of comfortably around his house. So anyways, that's what I looked up. For number 4, I'd say it's hard to picture whether this reinforces stereotypes or not, because it's based on a long time ago and it's hard to say. But if I have to pick, I'd say it does reinforce a poor stereotype towards African Americans because Esther holds such a low position and she's always working for others. So do stereotypes still exist today? I absolutely believe so. Just today I read an article about the UA police being called, UA being my hometown, they were called on a paperboy, an 11-year-old African-American paperboy, just for doing his job, and someone thought it looked suspicious. And I think a good way to overcome that is social media and the uproar that social media has from an article like that. People will read it, people will comment, and just go ballistic on social media. So everyone else knows that that type of action is unacceptable in today's society. So finally, my last 2 questions. Why would Esther marry someone she didn't know in person? And why would Esther trust this man, George, with her money after she knew he was cheating on her? All right, thanks.